Alright guys, hello, welcome back. It is Sunday at 3 o'clock. I'm just going over the submissions of the logos and surprised that not everyone submitted. So you guys have made my life easier because I have less work to do, but I guess you've made more work for yourself. So, and it wasn't just your class, it's actually every class. You guys might have turned in the most out of all of them. So we're just going to look through these and we give you some comments so you kind of know where to go. So Elmers Country Store, great store for this project because they can use a logo and they are a local business. One rule of design, always keep words together that go together. So we would read this Country Elmers Store, right? So you want to say Elmers really big and then you want Country Store to be together, Country Store. That's called the rule of proximity. So I would bring country down here. I don't know what's with the strawberry, if that's like a thing with them, but if you want to capture these kind of like other things like Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, maybe an established date if it's an older business, I would direct you to look first of all to Google country store logos, and you'd see that they have this kind of like old town feel, right? Usually the name is in the script, and then you've got this kind of country serif, and you've got the established date. You know, these are all great examples to look for, right? The Vermont country store. So I would look to these to kind of mimic this kind of faded kind of country style, and then this like semicircle. Not that you need the image of the farm and all that, but like here's a great one for Weir's country store. Beautiful options here. So remember, you want to keep your store sophisticated and also kind of, you know, that it looks like cool, like people want to go there. Like I wouldn't do this one with this kind of hokey jokey script, brush kind of font, but keep it more kind of like this, right? This looks really nice. So for your example, I just kind of use this script, maybe where the apostrophe is, maybe that's where you could put your strawberry. You could do type on a path by creating these kind of rounded edges, and here's like a country store kind of looking font to go with it. You could add the second half of the circle down here and it could say, you know, established, whatever. How did I do the type on a circle? For those of you that need to know this, it's draw your circle shape, right? And then go to type, click and hold, go to type on a path, and then click right in there. Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, right? And then you can increase the tracking from there, character, right? Tracking, we can make it more or less depending on how much space you need to take up. And if you need to flip that, so let's say we did want to do the established date, right? You can go down to type on a path, type on a path options, and then from here you click preview and you can flip it. And you can also adjust where it aligns to. So once I flip it, I like to align it to the center and then hit OK. And go back and rewind if you need that again, right? So now you can get the second half of that circle. Obviously this one's too high up, but you get the idea, right? So you can get that kind of archway if needed. All right, I'm going to jump ahead to Sean's because he also has Elmers. And again, the strawberry, not really sure. I'm not from there, but so again, proximity, keep the words together. This would read Elm, E, Ers, right? I like this shape. This is coming out good. This looks like the old-fashioned kind of country store signs. So I like that shape, but this all has to say Elmers together and then country store underneath. Maybe here you do your established and then here you do your USR NJ or something like that. So keep those words together. And if you want an easier way to make this shape, you can use the Pathfinder tool, which I did a demo and I posted, and it's on Canvas. So you can take a rectangle, right? And then you can take a circle and you can put them together. And then you're going to get that kind of country store shape, right? If you want to fuse them, you're going to select them both, pop open your Pathfinder tool. The first one here is Unite, and that's going to put it all together into one piece. And now you've got that brown sign, and you don't have to worry about tracing those curves and having things look inaccurate, right? So we can like pop this one right in here, bring to front, and you can see how we already have something going here, right? So look to your research, look to country store signs to get that inspiration. Let's go in here to the ice cream. All right, I like this shape, I like the colors, I like the font. These I'm going to say no because the Maggie is so far away from the Moose, right? It's like Maggie, 10 minutes later, it's like mousse, right? So you do want to keep them together, which is what you have happening here. And then you added this down here, right? So this works okay as maybe it could be on like the napkin or the coaster or things like that. But for a sign, if you were going to have a big sign outside, imagine, driving down the road, you're not going to see this because it's so image based. So look more towards doing, Maggie Moos. Again, I'm just going to use this same font. It just happens to work for so many things. Maggie, although I like your font better, right? You have Maggie Moos. Yes, it doesn't have a thing in there, right? And then underneath, you can do ice cream and treatery, or whatever it says. Treatery. I can't spell today. It's the weekend. Treatery. Then take your blob of ice cream, right? And I would put it, maybe here, right on top, maybe in between the Maggie and the Moos. You could separate it out like I did here with the Jersey Girl. You could have it kind of dripping down a little bit. And then here is my poor drawing of what your ice looks like a snowman of what your ice cream could look like, right? So you really want to focus on the type. Everybody seems to be getting lost in the imagery. The logo has to have the words, right? So the words have to be there. We're not all going to be Nike and just become a swoosh. We got to be words first. The icon is secondary, and it can be small. It can be maybe your little ice cream is just that, like we talked about with the Elmers, right? Maybe that's your little ice cream splat, and it's in the apostrophe there. All right, so good start, good colors. Keep going. PJs Coffee, New Orleans. I like the colors. Obviously, they relate to New Orleans. I like this kind of like blocky thing happening here. Justified. Spell Orleans. I think we're missing an A in there. I don't think you need the beads. The colors are enough to kind of give you that vibe. So I would take all this stuff out. I would go just with the PJs, right? So let's say you have the big blocky PJs, and then for coffee, let's see, how can we do that? If we had a big, I don't even know what font that is, but PJS, and we'll make it something big and bold, right? And then you had underneath PJs Coffee of New Orleans, right? So I would keep that together. Keep the PJs together. This could be in your big blocks. It could be the big P, the big J, the apostrophe, and the S. But then underneath, give us that, right? And maybe this is like the orange, and this is the purple, or however you want to do it. Or maybe each letter is a different color, and then this stays black. Simplify, but you're on the right track. I would go with this one and then tweak from there. Rebecca. All right, souk pastry. Again, lower the amount of images you guys are using. Focus on the text first and foremost. This one I'm reading is like soak, S-O-A, okay, because I'm seeing this as an A. So I would remove that one. I like the stacked macarons, right, as the OO, and I think that could work as maybe like a pull-out when you do your branding. Like maybe on your letterhead, you have just the like two stacked macaroons, right? But I would get rid of the Eiffel Tower, and again, I would look to just going back to some really nice font, like find some really good font to use, maybe something kind of thin, right? Something really kind of special and sophisticated. What's it called? Pastry shop. And then make that much smaller. Remember, tracking is really, really important. It's going to make your stuff look really good. So add that tracking in. We're going to go all the way up to 600 with this one. And like really sophisticated, right? Now we could always bring those macaroons in on like the letterhead or something like that. This could just go with some nice color, and then you've got a nice looking logo. So do less. Focus on the type. Type is really, really important. Jed, we've got State Line Diner. I would also encourage you. Where is that? Why can't I open it? It says an Illustrator file. Okay. I would encourage you to again also look at other diner logos. I see what's happening here. All caps script is not readable. So this we really can't read that. If you want to do a script, it's got to be upper and then lowercase. And if we pull up, let's just look for our diner logos. I can kind of see where you were going with this kind of feel, but really just take one of these kind of retro diner signs and then apply it to your restaurant. This is a great one, right? That could say State Line Diner, or the diner could go in here. Um, Something like that, maybe. Or say even this one. This might have too many letters, right? It could be, you wouldn't want to break up State Line. How about this one? State Line, right? So you want to find some of these shapes, these kind of like retro looking diners. I love this one. That looks sophisticated. This one's super sophisticated. Might be too sophisticated for the State Line Diner. But look how simple. Like simple, 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 simple. All right. We don't need all the flashy stuff. This is a great simple one too. State Line in a script, and then we have diner on the curve, the 3 stars at the top. So keep it basic, do your research, and apply it to your logos. Same comments go for cars. Again, when I looked up their logos, they have this kind of neon sign, right, with the delivery and the moon and stars. They really have a nice logo already. So if we're going to redesign their logo, we got to make sure we're giving them something better than they already have, which is going to be hard to do because this one works really well. Now, this one also is based off of these diner logos. You can see how they have the 3 horizontal lines on each side. They have that kind of car shape emblem, which you see here in the diners logo as well. So I would also direct you to also look at diner logos. Like this could say cars in the bubbles. It could say CARS, and then you could have whatever it says, takeout, dining, delivery. Okay, so then you could have delivery underneath in a script. So you can take pieces of these and kind of mash them together, right? So if you like this shape, right, this could say cars, and then underneath you could take this where it says downtown, you could put that underneath and it would say diner or whatever, delivery. Here it could say Ramsey's or something, or Montclair, whichever location. So really do your research, look at what's out there, take pieces of the ones that you like and apply it. Because this one, again, too image based. If you were walking up to the store, I think there was a picture here of someone walking into the store, right? No? Maybe so. Thought I saw it in here. Here it is, right? From here, you're driving by, you're like, oh, cars. Okay, I see it. I see it. It's really big, right? But if you had this, everyone would just see this car. They wouldn't really see the text on the inside, right? So look more at like what's happening with the diner logos and delivery logos to get some more inspiration. All right, Hazel Boutique, and I'm also going to mention Jersey Girl. Where is it? Here we go. Both of these. Hazel Boutique looks good, but reduce the spacing here. That's called leading, line spacing. You want those 2 words to be closer together. And I would do 2 contrasting fonts, kind of like you have happening here, but also go with uppercase and lowercase. I don't think you need all these complicated imagery like the Dreamcatcher School and all, but like that's not going to reproduce well on a logo. Think more of just focusing on the text and then worry about adding an image if you need to later. Same with the Jersey Girl. This looks more like a sticker you would put on like the back of a car, right? It's too much image based and way too large to be for like the outside signage or for the advertisements and things like that. So for both of you guys doing fashion stores, I would recommend you try doing maybe like a script, right? And then doing a sans serif, something maybe tracked out underneath. Maybe for Jersey Girl, you get that. This is my poor little drawing of New Jersey. Maybe you put that in between the two, right? You have LBI on the bottom. Maybe you stack Jersey on top of Girl. Maybe that goes in some kind of a shape. Maybe you do the little tiny Jersey, up here. It's a little tiny icon at the top of the circle. So it becomes this kind of brand or this icon. For Hazel, same concept. I would find some kind of nice handwritten script or something kind of funky, and then I would put boutique, all capitals, tracked out underneath it. Maybe you can have some play with where the letters like poke in and out. Like maybe B can be there, and then O, U, right? T would go in there. You'd have to manually place them, but you get the idea, right? You kind of space them out. Not so much that we can't read it, obviously. Boutique. But something like that, you know, maybe see how the H dips down, and then maybe this could wrap around the T and the I, and then this could come in between there. So see how that works, but really focus on the fonts, right? So if you look at all of these, the fonts is really what's driving it. So there's some fashion stores, and then I think the last one is a bagel place. So Einstein Brothers Bagels. Same concept, keep Einstein and Bros together because they go together, and bagels can be separate, right? Because that's the product. If you're going to replace a letter with an image, the letter can't be so big that it overtakes the logo. Someone in Period 1 did a great example of that. Let me just show you. Right? So here's they're using that shape as the O, but notice how it's not going beyond the size of the O in real life, right? Like if you put an O in there, it's not going to be any bigger than that, kind of like this. So you can use the bagel shape or bagel icon, but it shouldn't be larger than the text, right? It shouldn't overpower it. So for Einstein Bros, I would keep them together. So keep Einstein Bros on the same line. Let bagels be your pop word, you know, your script or your whatever, your other font. Maybe it's all lowercase. Maybe it's that same font, but it's lowercase, you know, something like that. And then I just made these shapes using Pathfinder. There's a Pathfinder demo video on Canvas. If you guys need to know how to use it, it's super simple. Right? And then we'll talk about getting into color next week. So hopefully I covered everyone, and hopefully you guys can take some of that feedback and refine your logos from there. Thanks.